Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening somewhere in the world. I'm Minami Yusui, and I will be making sure I am connected with everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Kristy, and I'm going to have. Here we go. I think I'm doing it okay. Did I do that right? Oh, here. I think this is it. This is. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. Thank you. Okay. Yes, I think this is it. Thank you so much. Amazing. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hi, Christy.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for
Great.
having me.
Thank you so much for being here. And yes, we are joined by the wonderful Kristy Ishii right here. And you are joining us from
From California. So
California. Where in
just
California?
in Northern California, so kind of like right below the Bay Area.
Mm,
It's
amazing. I have
yeah.
many dear friends from Bay Area, actually. I met them in New York, and yeah, they're from there and they moved back. And yeah, so I have so many
Yeah.
excuses to visit there now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in the morning there, yes? Still,
Yes, it's surprisingly pretty cloudy. It's usually sunny. So it's definitely like a gloomier like mood, but it's kind of nice sometimes and we need rain in California, so it's good.
yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And
Yeah.
thanks everyone for joining live. I'm so excited, and I feel like some of them might be joining from Japan, which is
Oh
like
wow.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
So thanks so
So
much.
early.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have this conversation with you, Christy. Yes, so Christy will be one of the founding members.
Yay.
The Shy Method Intensive, which is starting this month. But
Mm.
yes, we actually go way back. You can you remind me where we first
Yeah.
like our paths crossed?
Yeah, of course. So, I was living, I grew up in California, then I lived in Japan for about 4 years and I was working out there. And due to the pandemic, I had to come back to Cali. And then during that time period, like 2020 to 2022, somewhere in between there, Clubhouse, some of you might remember the
Yeah, do you
app. And
remember that?
yeah, I don't I know some people still use it, but there were
Mm,
definitely a lot of people that felt really comfortable, sharing things about how life is going because we didn't have the video.
right.
And so it was kind of new, so I hopped on and I remember being in a lot of like Japanese and then like Japan America spaces
Hmm.
online, and I remember that you were talking about especially like the U Unlimited project, and I knew
Hmm.
some people in my circle, I don't think I mentioned this, that have like I think joined your program in the past.
Hmm.
And so somehow your profile came up again, like I don't know, 3 or 4 years later on LinkedIn, and I was like, wait, I remember your
So,
name. So that's how we
yeah.
reconnected recently. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like random, but maybe meant to be, right? You were
Yeah.
probably ready to just level up and next level. I feel like, yeah, during pandemic, I was running a salon, so I had the
See?
online community, and that was
Yes.
really lovely people. There was an article, Forbes Japan article that came out right before pandemic. I feel like February,
Mm,
like a month before the official Broadway shutdown,
okay.
and many women in business came into found out about
Mm,
you project, and yeah, it was so wonderful to connect and share and like know that the so many performing arts inspired tools can really help all of us, because as
yeah.
long as they're human, it's about using your body, your heart and voice. And we tend to
Hmm.
just, especially smart women, accomplished women, we're like so used to coming up with answers here, right? But then we're like,
Hmm.
wait, why am I not enjoying this process as much? Because we
Yeah.
leave the heart part behind. And yeah, so yeah, I wanted to talk about self-leadership. And
Okay.
I've been posting about this, and I love that Christy was like, "Wait, what context do we talk about this?" And you're right. Maybe like that word might be a little like a little rigid, stiff, but like other ways, what I wanted to say was it's really owning your choices, really owning
Mm,
your voice.
mm.
People, when you hear leadership, I don't know if you please feel free to comment, and like if you have any questions, please, like, feel free to comment here. Let's have a conversation. But they are, they think like, oh, I'm not a leader, like those are for people like, much senior or something. But actually, I strongly believe leadership starts with like us leading ourselves. But
Yes.
nobody
Yeah.
really teaches that. We just schools, we're praised for doing the right, you know, getting the right answers, whatever,
Sure.
right? Whatever we were fed. So at certain point, like I had to really shift that mindset and the game. Like I thought, I was given like the hardest time I had, I would say in my life was right before
Mm.
my Broadway debut.
Mm.
And you wouldn't think, because like you're like really close to Broadway. But because I was so close, like over
Yeah.
10, 15 years, I was pursuing, doing all over the US and Japan. I work internationally and also nationally. With Mary Poppins, a year and a half, 450 performances. Every
Wow.
week I was traveling.
That's
And
incredible.
so many shows. Yeah, thousands of shows and hundreds and thousands of audience members. And finally, I got so, so close. I was basically in the cast.
Mm.
Right? Just imagine, like this is what actually happened. I was
Yeah.
already with everybody else who was already in the like original cast
Mm-hmm.
and doing a workshop with like pre before the official rehearsal, we do like a little workshop, and I was part of that. And then I didn't hear anything, and I was doing another show in Philadelphia, and
Mm.
I don't know if you heard of Playbill. Playbill, it's like
Yeah.
in
The
media
yes.
that talks about Broadway and
Yeah.
the
The
program.
pamphlet.
But
Yeah.
yes, pamphlet, and they have a website, and they talk about like the most recent news. And I found out the cast announcement, and my name wasn't in it. Like,
Yeah.
imagine that. Nobody told me I was doing part of the big work, right? Like opening.
Yeah.
So people would show me like this will be the costume, this will be the set pieces,
Wow.
but don't tell anybody, but only for you. And I was like, you would think you're in the cast already.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
to get to that position, put the point, it took me 1 year of auditions, like callbacks after callbacks. It's a mass, like hundreds of people to like, smaller group. And I actually, in part of the process, I was in Disney World for vacation
Mhm.
and I had a call back. So I canceled I flew back just to sing and came back. Like this is what I
Wow.
used to do, just drop everything for this, right?
Yeah.
Just for everything. And then find out that I found out that I didn't get it. And it was just, it was I just yeah, just like a dagger in your heart, right? Basically, like
Yeah.
and then um no word, that you didn't get it or
Mm.
anything. So I just had to process, but I didn't know how to process. So I would just say,
Sure.
oh, I'm fine, like I'm grateful I was
Yeah.
doing a show still in Philadelphia and I'm grateful, like I'm fine. But smile disappeared from me for like solid nine
Mm.
months.
Mm.
Like
Mm.
I couldn't smile. My heart became so stiff and heavy,
Mm.
which I didn't even realize. I was trying to
Yeah.
probably really like working to protect myself, from
Yeah.
showing how,
Re-experiencing that
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and show how broken I was. I didn't even
Yeah.
want to admit it. So I would try to move on. So
Mm.
I would keep auditioning and doing, what I
Sure.
usually do, like
Yeah.
practice like lessons and everything. But then because I kept ignoring, my body started sending signals,
Mm.
and my hand here, the skin all peeled off.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Like it was just I couldn't even show. Like I had to wear something to cover it. It was just in. So my body was like screaming. I was like,
Yeah.
"Come on, listen to me. What are you doing
Yeah.
to me?" And it was so hard. I kept just like working harder to
Mm.
ignore that, try not to face that. Then there came a point like my body was screaming, and I was already meditating quite a bit, but I was like, let me just sit down and really focus on this thing.
Mm.
So I started,
Yeah.
yeah, we started my process. And yeah, when I started really focusing on myself, right,
Mm-hmm.
instead of what I should be doing or how I should look,
Yeah.
I realized how broken I was and just tears poured down like out of my
Mm,
eyes, and I couldn't stop crying, and big drops of tears.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm broken. You know, I didn't want to admit it because I thought that would mean stop, right? Like, and
Mm,
I'm not used to that, go-getter, overachievers, keep
yeah.
going. But then I was like, ah, wow. Then there was enough signals, happening
Mm,
like clearly, but I didn't know how to really have a conversation. I forgot how to have a conversation with myself.
yeah. And
Closest, but
sometimes,
yes,
sometimes that I like sometimes we don't know. We weren't really modeled, like given a way to have that conversation with ourselves, right?
exactly,
So
right?
yeah, just want to throw in that perspective too, that like maybe you
I
knew the best you knew how to take care of yourself at the time, and so
was
you
like, I'm
had to
fine.
sort of, yeah, relearn how to kind of carry yourself through that tough experience, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, the meditation and quieting the outside noise, really listening to myself. And what I finally realized was I started just asking, like, why am I suffering so much? Like, why did I start on this path to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
And try to remember why I started pursuing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I simply loved making theater with everyone.
Yeah.
The joy of collaborating with people and people coming from different you can't have a theater by yourself. You have to
Mm-hmm.
have not only actors, everyone who is like, props people,
Yeah.
set people, costume design, ushers,
Yeah.
people who are passionate about in their own field, and
Mm-hmm.
they bring their talents and passion in order to deliver this story to the audience member to touch their hearts. And I
Yeah.
love the process of everybody bringing their best, best self, and then the
Mm-hmm.
talents and the hard work, and then coming together to tell this
Yeah.
one story. I love that process, and that's what hooked me into. And then like I was obsessed and I was mesmerized by this world. And I don't know if you might know this already, but guess how many auditions it took me to get my very first job after graduating
Oh,
from
I don't
theater school,
know.
after graduating from a drama school in New York,
Yeah.
and you start auditioning, like, guess how many auditions it took me to get the very first job? Just random
I
number.
maybe like I can't imagine maybe like 50 or 80.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 88 auditions
Wow.
it took me. It's official. It's
Wow.
in my Japanese book, actually.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it doesn't say here. But so meaning I had 87. Oh, yeah, that's a good guess. Thank you so much. Yeah, 150 is good. So I had 87 no's before I ever got my
Yeah.
first yes, right?
Yeah.
So, but I kept going because there was a lot of, from outside, it looked like, oh,
Mm.
like she, like, a big failure because she never got a yes until 88th one. But to me, it was like a micro win. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
every time I showed up, there was something I learned and grew, like, I could feel that I grew, you know?
Yeah.
So, but then that was the joy, that tiny wins and being able to see myself grow and finding the joy in that, figuring out and honing my craft. And then 88th audition, finally somebody said yes. And it wasn't Broadway, by the way. It
Mm-hmm.
took me 10 more years after that first yes before my Broadway.
Yeah.
But the 88th one, I was an intern
Mm.
at Main State Music Theater, meaning not only you do, perform on stage, but you got to experience every aspect of making theater. So I got to build sets. I was doing welding with the helmet and
Wow.
the glass. I was
Wow.
loading, load out with the helmet, build sets, put labels on each costume because like
Wow.
every single piece of costume has to be labeled, right? Because so you
Wow.
don't lose it.
Yeah.
And props and like and I every department has different characteristics. Like they have like, I love props people because they're very like, very like detail oriented people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And very
Mm-hmm.
sensitive. And then
Yeah.
set people, set design people are like more like, oh, like come on, like lift this heavy thing. And I was like, okay. You know, and I
Yeah.
love the different personality, but we all come together for the love of
Mm.
theater. And I
Yeah.
just love the environment. I just like, I probably wasn't sleeping at all. And also, interns were housed like 40-minute
Mm.
walk outside, like probably 15-minute drive, but I felt so behind because I started so late that I wanted
Mm.
to be at the theater before anybody that I would just leave while everybody's sleeping and just start walking. It was like 40 minutes. So I can be at the theater
Right.
before anybody. So it was all summer, so I got so sunburned because I would like every
Walking out
morning.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just remember because I was barely getting paid then. But I was
Mm.
so happy. I felt like I was on top of the world. That
Yeah.
joy. And then 10 years later, almost Broadway, meaning like I was working. I was a working actor, meaning I was booking contracts and, working professionally all over the
Yeah.
country. And there I was miserable. And I was
Mm.
like, why? Because I was so caught up with and then attached to the accomplishment or the title of
Yeah.
Broadway, and almost like started this illusion of like, unless have this title, I'm not worth
Mm.
it. I'm
Mm.
worthless. So then, so it started with the joy, right? I wanted to do theater because it was joyful, and then like somewhere
Yeah.
in the middle, like it just kind of like split into this
Mm.
attachment to this. I have to have this, unless I'm
Mm.
nothing. So and then that's why I was miserable because
Mm.
I left that joy path, right? So I have to kind of
Mm.
come back like pee, pee, pee. That's very Japanese expression. Come
Yeah.
back to my joy, and this is what I call the big why. I introduce it in my Japanese book, but the big why, like why you are pursuing this to begin with. Why did you start on this path? And I highly recommend everybody to just kind of like, why am I doing this? Like just the incident or why um you that got you interested. Like Christy, like tell me, like you are in speaking world, right? And coaching world. Like,
Yeah.
was there any incident or like encounter that like got you really excited about or interested in this area?
Yeah. So I was really interested in, for example, like the Shine program that you're starting a couple weeks, right? Like we're starting
Mm-hmm.
it this month.
Yes, yes.
And the reason why I was just really intrigued and like immediately wanted to jump on a call with you was because I'm in this stage of my life where, I've gone through working overseas and
Mm-hmm.
working here in the States, and over time I've become, a speaker for certain alumni groups and certain types of, individuals who are in an international career path. And I've had the opportunity to have one keynote speech, several
Mm-hmm.
workshops in person and online. And I realized that there is something very significant about storytelling and being able to not just live your story, but share with people, kind of like how you have today, share with folks, what were the ups and downs? How did you navigate the journey?
Mm-hmm.
But share it in a way that speaks to like one to many in an audience, and also in a
Mm-hmm.
way that just shares from like your most genuine self.
Mm-hmm.
And shine, for me, just even the word, and then, there's an acronym to it as well.
Yes.
The fact that you're providing a safe space for people like me to really step into like whatever version it is. For me, it's a keynote speaker,
Mm-hmm.
facilitator role that I
Mm-hmm.
feel is the best way to share my story. Uh,
Mm.
I immediately felt drawn to joining a program with like-minded people who also
Mm-hmm.
want to elevate their voice. And having seen your journey and like heard about it as well, and I'm sure I'll learn more, I really resonate with what you share. And I think that everyone has an element of their story that others can relate to.
Uh-huh.
And so being in community and being able to, be myself and have
Yeah.
that kind of just really like I don't know if authenticity is the right word, but just having self-trust in the way that you share your story and make your life choices. I want to be surrounded by folks like who embody that.
Hmm.
And so one reason for joining Shine would be for me is to like really just step fully out of perhaps like a bit of a shell that I've kind of created as I've gone through my career.
Mm.
Um, Talking about your life, yourself, your life tribulations can be a little bit scary for some. And for
Yeah,
me,
totally. Yeah.
yeah, it's vulnerable, right? Being
Hmm.
able to talk about yourself like you just did here, it just opens us up to anyone who's listening.
Mm.
And I think there's something really special about doing that kind of thing and evolving in that way
Hmm.
um, with a group of supportive women. So I'm just really excited that you're holding this space for us, and hopefully more people will be joining
Oh,
soon.
yes, yes. If you're interested, please feel free to DM me and let's, yeah, have a conversation to see, to see if this work can support you. Yeah. And yeah, I'm so excited because I think, yeah, it was not a random timing. I feel like you discovered and you were ready. And it's such a powerful thing to like, I've used this method um, and served many women before, and they seen them blossom, owning their story, owning their vulnerable side, which
Mm,
all of us has. There's no exception. As long as you're human,
yeah,
we all have that. But somehow we don't talk about it, and some of
yeah,
them don't even know, right? Because our teachers didn't know, our family didn't know, so they couldn't teach
hmm,
that. So it's not
yeah,
their fault. It's just something that we haven't had I didn't feel like had the permission to talk about. But
yeah,
I want to encourage. That's the power of performing arts inspired tools, because
mm,
theater is about human beings. I've,
yeah,
told so many stories and so many characters' lives, and also that's in. I have to live that, embody that, and learn that everybody, there is no exception. We all have that, and if we can really get in touch with it and own that, then it's gonna be so much easier to show up in the world because there's no. This is the private side of me. This
mm,
is the side I show. It's so much maneuvering, right? So much navigating,
yeah,
but it's gonna be you. It's very authentic and
yeah,
whole
yeah,
and coherent, and that's gonna relate to many people, and then ourselves. It's gonna be easier on us because
hmm,
you're not switching gears. Yeah, and yeah, I'm so excited to like see you open up with these tools and yeah, supportive community and the coming back to the big why thing. Yeah, if anybody watching this, if you are starting on a new path, right, or ready to go to the next level, just always like think about one incident. For me, it was, yeah, that's the internship, right? Like how happy I was. And I was like, that's the joy, coming to, getting to make theater with everyone. Then it wasn't about the title anymore. It was like the gratitude, and I got to come back to that. Then everything changed because I removed all that pressure from myself. And after 8 months, 9 months of depression and like skin peeling and face frozen,
mm,
there was one day I could actually really release that pressure from myself and say,
hmm,
it's okay if I don't ever have an opportunity to be on Broadway. I could finally say that to myself. Before I could just say it like, with people. I was like, oh, it's okay, Sarah, it's nothing, blah, blah, blah. But I
hmm,
wasn't saying that to myself, honestly. But
mm,
with my honest conversation, the day I could say that, oh, a lot of weight lifted. And then, funny enough, that's when the opportunity and the offer, my Broadway contract came
yeah,
to me and the door opened because I stopped pressuring myself so much and just decided to live here. So this ease, hard workers, overachievers, we think, hardworking or suffering is virtue,
Mm,
but
mm,
actually, and then being easy sounds like guilty sometimes,
mm,
like, oh, I'm being lazy. But actually, the ease is the key to the next level. Like you're ready to go to the next level. Because if we keep, like we talked about this backpack analogy, like, like we
mm,
have stuffed so much knowledge, right? Or what
mhm,
our should do or to do list. And the heavy, when you're climbing a mountain,
mhm.
by stuffing more things, would that help you?
No, it's gonna
Right.
weigh you
Or
down. Yeah.
right. Or rocket, right? Like
Yeah.
as they ascend, they remove. Maybe it
Mhm.
needed you to really start, like maybe you needed that power, but at certain point you need to remove and take what really matters only
Mhm.
with you. Then you can like go to the next level. And yeah, I've had the pleasure and honor of working with so many, top industry people across different industries and
Mhm.
seeing them, it's what they have in common. It's the ease and the lightness. So
Yeah.
they can tackle anything, or they can welcome any challenges
Right.
or new opportunity that comes like next minute, because they're so flexible and they're so open. They're not so like, stuck in the narrow minded. So then new door opens, they're like ready to go, and
Yeah.
because they're so light and flexible. And I see that across industry, like so many people, different finance, law, medicine,
Yeah.
different, and artists too. But like the higher you go, or the more successful they seem, they're not being lazy. I know they know how to work
Mhm.
hard, but they also know how to find ease or that flexibility, and that actually brings more opportunities. So I'm so excited for you to find that, like embrace that ease and flow,
Yeah.
and yeah, like what are you looking forward to most? I know you said community and, owning your powerful vocal self, you said? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I think too, like kind of similar to what you're saying, I just giving myself permission to be to be heard, like to have
Mm-hmm.
my voice be shared without feeling like, oh, am I, talking too much about myself? I think growing up in a culture where we're supposed to be very humble. Even though I grew up in the States, I'm like Japanese American, and so
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of, I think society doesn't always celebrate when you're talking about yourself, and that's I think the message is misinterpreted a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and what can happen is we don't really get to be our full, like show up as our full self. Like you're mentioning, people feel like
Mm-hmm.
that their work self and their personal is like a little bit separate. Uh, and for me, it's just like there's so much ease when you can just be yourself and you're not
Mm-hmm.
performing as who you think you should be or who you think
Mm-hmm.
somebody wants you to be. And for me, that shift happened when I went from working for a company and then starting my own coaching business.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible it was also very busy, but it was the ease in just having your own, for me, the flexibility of time, being to
Mm-hmm.
choose when to do what, who I'm
Mm-hmm.
collaborating with, saying
Yeah.
yes to some clients and other clients you can say that, it's not a good match. I can refer you to
Mm-hmm.
somebody else.
Yes.
There's something so beautiful in that. And so this next level that I'm wanting to give myself permission to like step
Yes.
into is really just like unapologetically speaking
Mm-hmm.
for myself, like about myself in
Mm-hmm.
a way that elevates people around me. I think it's so I don't know if it's also just in society we look at maybe a CEO or somebody who's um, again, I don't know if it's gender, but I feel like the expectation is for the CEO person to be very confident and talk about things, and people just look up to that person as if
Mm.
uh, I don't know, like they're a different type
Yeah.
of human. It's very
Yeah.
odd to me. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of pedestaling,
Yes.
like putting
Mm-hmm.
people on a pedestal for like corporate America, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it happens in other industries as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think for me, what I want to do is be able to bring people up into whatever like level that they want to be at the same time as me. Like there's no hierarchy. There's really just you
Right.
being your truest self, and so I'm
Mm-hmm.
really looking forward to being that way in the Shine
Yeah,
program
totally. Yeah.
and not feeling like I'm too loud or too bright or
Mm-mm.
too anything.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think too our perspective really impacts that. Like what I think might be me bragging or talking a lot about myself might not look like that from the outside, you know? And so I
Mm-mm.
think it's really
We're gonna
important.
flip all of that.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you showing up is actually serving.
yeah.
Because the more, like, if I didn't do any of this youth project stuff, would you have found me?
Yeah,
I would
no.
probably not be on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but because I knew I had message to share, and that can actually ease some people's pain or inspire some people. Yeah, and we shift that narrative, like it from, oh, how am I looking? Or are people gonna think I'm braggy? To me showing up is actually a service because my story can actually support somebody's
Yeah.
next level, right?
Yeah.
And then it becomes so much easier, and it's actually disservice not to do it,
Not, yeah.
right? So you
Yeah.
feel guilty not to share your story, and then then you take action because
Mm.
if you showing up meaning you're serving, you not showing up meaning you're actually taking that opportunity away from people.
Yeah.
That's guilty, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna flip this. Yeah, so shines. We have the acronym, and the shine's N is actually navigating your narrative.
Mm.
So it's the power of story. So all my theater background, it's about storytelling, and we are making choices all the time, every single second,
Mm.
right? And because in theater, let's say when you're acting something, or let's say it's the airport scene,
Mm.
and you're looking forward to your vacation or wherever you're going to see your family, and then you find out the flight is canceled.
Hmm.
Christy, how would you react to the canceled flight?
That would be pretty frustrating.
Okay. What's your next move?
Uh, I think I'd have to f figure out. I still want to get there.
Okay.
So I think I'd go into like if I'm in a good, heart space and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
super like emotional, then I would
Uh-huh.
probably go into operational mindset of like,
Uh-huh.
how can I,
Uh-huh.
what are some possibilities that I'm not looking at? Like maybe there are some other options to get there, I think
Mm-hmm.
would be like the second stage. But I think
Okay.
also addressing the feelings first would be uh really important in case,
Mm.
yeah, I was
Right. So
too
that's
emotional.
Christy, everyone. So if we were to make a musical or show, Christy in the airport scene, she would be, like how am I frustrated or like emotional side, she can separate it and then she can like strategically think about how to get there. But some people, have you seen these people who would just go up to the employees and just yell?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right? But I think
Yeah.
we've all seen those people at the airport. And also, some people think, oh, I've always wanted to read this book. Find that at a kiosk and
Yeah.
then just start reading, and then
Yeah.
have this 3 hours undistracted and you
Yeah.
get to read. And so in real life, we see that. And in the show, that's how we form and create the identity of the
Mm,
character, right? So it's the
mm,
same situation. We call it given circumstances. It's
mm,
same situation. Cancel, like flights are canceled for everyone, but how you respond to it is
mm,
what creates that person's character and also their destiny, right?
mm,
If you start yelling at the employee, and that's what they do, and they get even more frustrated, so then like their stomach starts hurting or whatever, right?
yeah,
And then the other person starts reading and feel really inspired by the book and take action, or meet somebody next sitting next to the person and like start a really inspiring conversation, and maybe they fall in love. That
Mm,
can be their life, a new path, right? So
yeah.
it's so interesting, but that's what we do. Like every second, even the same situation, how we choose can really start us on a
Yeah.
different path.
Yeah.
And that's navigating our narratives. And so acting wise, we're
Huh.
given the same song, same situation, but how would this character
Mm,
respond to this moment? And I learned that that really dictates where you're going. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, how can I apply that to my real life? I
Yeah.
thought being hungry meaning becoming hangry, like angry, right? It's like you can just
Yeah.
like just frustrate it. But I was like, there are other ways to live. When you're
Yeah.
hungry, you can feed yourself
Yeah.
and not feel so pissy.
Yeah.
That's a choice. And that's
100%.
that's yeah, that's a choice under my control, which I wasn't aware of. I
Mm,
thought that was the only choice, right? So then this is what we're talking about, self-leadership and having authorship of your own life is
mm,
how conscious and aware we become of our choices.
yeah.
The more choices we can see, the more conscious we can choose, we can intentionally cultivate our life path
Yeah.
in a way that you desire.
Yeah.
It's so fun, but when we are so caught up in our emotion or the situation or blame other people or
Yeah.
other elements, you are powerless because you're
Yeah.
not taking authorship or self-leadership.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the power. And yeah, I guess self-leadership might be a little stiff word, but like yeah, owning
Yeah.
your feeling and choosing for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Before what's the right answer. My my parents would say this or tell me to do this, as opposed to what do I actually want?
Yeah.
Like this might be the societally acceptable path, but is
Mm,
this what I really want? Like, is this
yeah.
gonna be really fulfilling? Ask yourself that question, and I think there's more. I think, yeah, Strive, yeah, founding members are like ready. Like they're like, I think I don't know exactly what it is, but I think there's more.
Yeah.
I've done enough, and I feel like there's easier way. I'm ready for the next step and next
Hmm.
level. So you feel that possibility, and that's a powerful new like question. And then like this tool will give you like intentionally open that door and then
Yeah.
create that, cultivate that path. And that's the power that I learned from theater, because storytelling, because I've seen stories of
Yeah.
people's lives and their choices have opened up to become a criminal, to falling in love, or like in
Sure.
so many
Yeah.
different life patterns. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to share this with you.
I'm
And yeah,
excited.
yeah. And
No,
if,
what can,
yes.
yeah, what you're sharing, just like three words that came up were just
Mm,
really big and bright that just say like own your story. And
mhm,
I love the that you shared kind of from your frame of reference and
mm,
in performing arts, how you you took that from what you've like learned in your profession to like apply that to your life because I think that's that's also a really big reason why I want to join because I'm not
mm,
in labels wise, I'm not a performing artist in my current
mhm,
perspective, right?
mhm.
And so, I can't really step into your life and experience that, the whole of your career. But I think what's so special is that you've designed something so that people can access that. And that's also something I'm really looking forward to because in my own way, I think there are things in my life that sure maybe I could apply to the personal, like things I've learned in my career, I could apply to the personal, but not a lot of people are able to do that. And so I admire you for that, but I also selfishly want to embody some of that myself
Mhm.
and really just love new perspectives on how I can see life itself and then owning my own story because as you said like storytelling is so important and I think
Important,
I
yeah.
hope a lot of people can also resonate too when they rewatch this because there's the only person that can say no to you living out and playing your life story is really you, right? Nobody else can stop
Mhm,
you from doing it. And
mhm.
so I'm so excited. Like I'm excited you
Yes.
shared that too, because I think it's
Yeah.
helpful to see that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. And yeah, the past years just, serving many people with this framework, and them taking their ownership, basically, yeah,
Yeah.
ownership of their life. And once they know they have that power,
Yeah.
they're like, they're limitless. They're just literally, yeah, just it was them. I'm just
Yeah.
helping you to just remove that block, like
Yeah.
stopper. I
Yeah.
just like, hey, this is not necessary. You just might have picked this up on the way. But
Yeah.
now it's time to remove it. I give
Yeah.
permission like all the time, like my coaching
Yeah.
call all the time. I was like, here, take my permission slip. You don't need it actually. You can just like start using it,
Yeah.
giving
Yeah.
yourself.
I
But
love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
unless you get used to it, like take as
Mm.
many, because I'm here to give you that permission slip as many as you
100%.
want. And
Yeah.
then once you have that, you are unlimited.
Hmm.
Literally, people think like, oh, Minami, you're unlimited. That's like such a cliche. But actually, from this
Mm.
theater and stories, I've
Mm.
seen many people see so many other choices the moment
Mm.
they see that and
Yeah.
choose that choice like intentionally. How their life unfolds is unlimited.
Yeah.
And, I've served people from, I mean, high school students, medical
Mm.
students, people in their 20s to 70s.
Hmm.
And the lady who I served, like in their 70s, recently came to New York for a VIP day.
Oh,
And
wow.
she's never traveled abroad by herself. But
Wow.
and she thought like, what would everybody think of me, or people, like she never
Mm.
thought that was even a possibility. But being
Yeah.
in the Shine community and seeing so many other people do things that she never thought of was possible, she was like, oh, maybe I can do this. Maybe I
Yeah.
can travel abroad. And she did
Yeah.
it. And now it's
Yeah.
even more unstoppable. And
Yeah.
she's creating her own work and just becoming so creative. So it's my greatest joy to watch people and being the person to open the door and like be the, introduce their new possibility and new realm of growth. And it's
Yeah.
just such a joy for me. So yeah, I'm so
Amazing.
excited. And yeah, if you're interested, please DM me and Shine, or just say hey, and then we can have a conversation. And I would love to have you join us because this will be so exciting. I'm seeing the possibility for myself, just reaching as many people and just giving this, permission slip until they don't need it from me. And
Yeah.
then they just keep opening their doors to possibilities. And so, yeah, Christy, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share? Or if anybody has any questions,
Questions.
please, yeah, feel free to ask away. And thanks so much for joining, everybody, middle of the day.
Yeah, the only thing I want people to know is that I'll be part of the program, and for anyone who knows me, this is it's a 6 weeks, right?
Hmm,
The
6 week.
Okay,
Hmm.
so it's a 6 week accelerator, and we're gonna have an amazing, tight-knit community of women who are all on the same vibe, same energy. So if if you've been a client of mine, or if you are, interested in being a part of that type of energy for the next 6 weeks, definitely reach out to Minami. Like, have a call with her. She does a great job of explaining the program, and I would also love to have you join us. So just know that like there's a supportive community waiting for you if
Yes.
you are in the right space to join the group of us, and can't wait to meet some of you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I guarantee great vibe, great energy. I'm a
Yeah.
huge believer in, and I mean, energy is everything.
Mhm.
Everything. So the huge change for me was when I moved to America when I was 18 after high school.
Mm.
And until then, I thought there was nothing worthwhile about me. I was so
Mm.
I there was, because of harsh, critiques, like that made me a hard worker. But also I didn't see any positive sides about me. But then here in New York, even in dance class, if somebody liked my move or something, they would just come up to me and say like, "That was great," and they were like, I would be like, "Did you just say something nice about me?" I would
Yeah.
just like hang on to those positive, comments, and just start applying it to myself. And that belief and supportive community. Also, drama school, I loved about that safe environment. I strongly believe
Mm.
in it because when you grow, you have to fall. You have to
Yeah.
take risks.
Yeah.
There's no if you're not taking risks, if you're not failing, there's nothing, no such thing as failing. if you're not stumbling, like you're not growing.
Mm-hmm.
And no growth is boring, no change, you know? So the theater class, school really provided the safe environment. So we could fail as fast and come back as
Yeah.
fast. So
Yeah.
then we could actually take risks and then find this amazing like discovery about themselves,
Yeah.
ourselves. And so I strongly believe in it. I work with the government of my hometown. I work with different governments as well. And all these projects, but even if in Japan, in my hometown, I bring that culture everywhere. If they don't let me have that culture, I'm not doing it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I strongly believe in the language and the culture, like not language, like linguistic language, but how we
Mm-hmm.
talk to each other, how we
Yeah.
relate to each other, what energy you bring into that's sacred. So I
Yeah.
promise you to have this great energy, safe space that's very supportive. So you want to take a risk and discover your true self in the next level self. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that. And energy is everything. Yeah, and then having that, owning that, like audition, you get 30 seconds,
Yeah.
sometimes less than 30 seconds. They can't really judge you from like, how you talk too much. But
Oh, yeah.
the moment you open that door, they feel your energy or
Yeah.
not. So
Yeah.
it just changes everything. People's connection, how you
Mm-hmm.
show up when you as a speaker and coach, and just everyday relationship will shift as well. So yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about energy, how the awareness of that,
Yeah.
and how we the culture and the how you relate to ourselves and each other. I'm so excited for this. So
I'm
yeah,
excited
yeah, yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, please reach out to me and let's have a conversation. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Thanks
I
for
was
having
already,
this
but yeah,
convo.
Christy, yeah, thank you. And yeah, and if anybody has any comments, let me know even after, yeah, watching it and or yeah, reach out and I can't wait to have you join us. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. And thank you so much, Christy, for sharing your story. And yeah, I'm so excited to start this journey with you.
Excited. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.